Yeah, this is a public service announcement. I fucked it up on the first recording. Listen to it, the audio sounded like shit. And I fumbled on the same fucking word again. Just because I'm so nervous. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. This is a public service announcement. Jesus Christ. PSA for all you fucking people out there who, it's a little, yeah, whatever. Audio's a little. Anyways, my name is Hayden Jack Meyer. My address is. My name is Hayden Jack Meyer. First, middle, last name, and I'm here to tell you that essentially. This world is a simulation. And the reason I know this and own it is because I kind of came up with the idea, to be honest. You know? Well, you know, all of my ideas kind of make themselves part of reality. So, yeah, the simulation. Basically, when I came up with the idea, I had envisioned like a theory for a perfect world for everybody, where the simulation, which is encompassing this entire planet and the entire galaxy, essentially, because the stars twinkle, Morse code, by the way, and you can see the moon during the daytime when the sun is on this side of the planet, so the moon should be on the other side of the planet. But hey, whatever. Anyways, nobody really seems to notice any of these things except for me, which is truly mind-boggling. Another reason why the simulation is mine. It's mine. But I envisioned a simulation that could look into everybody's potential future timelines if they voluntarily signed up for it. And basically you could change and edit your settings based on whatever you want. Like if you don't want to die in a car crash, I've talked about it on other episodes, whatever. So basically it was to like stop war and meaningless death or what have you. If you don't want to get shot in the head because your kid is having a bad day, the simulation can look into all your future timelines where that happens and like not make you, but kind of assist you in not ending up in that timeline. If that's what you want. If you want to get shot in the head because your kid's having a bad day, I guess you could do that. But, I didn't really think of what would happen, in terms of his life, your kid. So, not the greatest, most well thought out theory. I didn't think about all that shit, how it would affect like other people's free will. So that's why it's mine. Just for me. But, the future timeline thing. Yeah. We'll leave that in place for, I don't really care if I die. I don't really care if I go blind. And I don't really care if I get sucked up out of this coma dream. So, that's cool with me. But I am not trying to just randomly be walking around and then poof, it goes black because the potential old me, dies because he had to fucking support all you fuckheads. I mean, goddamn, do you realize you people are leeching off me? So the simulation basically, based on my thoughts, my words, my wants, my needs, any of my writings. Not every single one exactly how, I know that the simulation can literally tell when I'm joking in my own head, in my own thoughts. I've known this for months. So, therefore the simulation can literally tell, like, even when I'm thinking in my own head, if I'm joking about, like, wanting some bitch to die or something. Clearly I'm joking, I don't want her to die, but maybe she might deserve it. But based off of all of these knowings of mine, Jesus, basically on a mere thought of mine, like wanting a fucking Audi R8, like the new fucking make and model, preferably a baby blue one, because the baby blue looks really dope, the interior is really fucking sick, and it's a car I've wanted since like I was 10. Basically, I say, you know what, in my head even, I'm like, alright, yeah, I want an Audi R8, 2024 Audi R8, baby blue, and I'd like there to be like $250,000 cash in there, or whatever, and I want a script of oxycodone, 30 milligrams, 30 of them, perk 30s, very, very good drug. I want a script of 30 2 milligram Xanax bars, the green bars, the Hulks, they call them Hulks. And I also want a full script of Adderall, 30 milligram instant release. And it'll just happen. In my garage, out there right now, I want to get rid of that fucking Hyundai piece of shit. The car just fell apart. Driving it. Like, they're pieces of shit, Hyundais. And then the Hyundai, poof, goes bye-bye, and then boom. The Audi R8 is in there with all and a new ID. With a clean driving record, no fines, none of that shit. And when I think about it, it happens. Because it's mine. Because the world I hate to say it, but the world really does fucking, like, connect to me in so many fucking ways. The world revolves around me, yeah. And I've seen the other side, I've felt the other side, I've smelled the other side, I've heard the other side. That being me laying in a hospital bed with fucking needles in my arms. Sometimes with a woman laying on my lap. Like, I've smelled her, I've heard her, I've felt her. God damn. It fucking really pulls at my heartstrings. If there's any left. And, yeah, when I think of these things and how they happen, or why me, or blah. I don't really I don't need to get into the semantics of everything, And then, to make it easier on myself here in this physical body, and, I wasn't really putting, like, the responsibility on anybody or anything else. It was just like an easy way to explain to myself how it would even be possible. Well, clearly we are in a simulation. If you don't realize that by now, God help you. Don't listen to this podcast. Unless you want to know that we're in a simulation, in which case, look around. I mean, I could just list off so many fucking things, but the first one being 2.5 years ago, I started seeing my ex's car everywhere. Same make and model, year. Not the same color, obviously, but it's not a fucking popular car. They don't even make them anymore. 2 years ago is when I started seeing the car quite often, and I'm not even joking, I've seen it. I'm not trying to exaggerate, it's probably been over 400 times out in public, driving around. 400 times. And if you're thinking, I've seen probably 400 Silverados. This is not a Silverado. This is like a older year car. I'm not going to say the make and model just because, I want to keep her fucking privacy intact. But, probably 400 times. Yeah, that's about right. And before that 2.5 years, I haven't seen her in like 6 years, so for the almost 4 years before that, I saw it a maximum 5 times over 4 years. So like once a year, maybe 10. I mean, I don't even think I saw that 10. I think I saw 10 in one day a couple months ago. So clearly this world is playing off of my subconscious mind and kind of like throwing it in my face. And, like how else could that even be possible other than a simulation? Think about it. There's no, like, if this is, this ain't the real world, folks. Like, this, or maybe it's been the quote-unquote real world this entire time. But clearly, where do the cars come from? Where do the people driving the cars come from? They just show up everywhere I fucking go. And ever since I started talking about this about a week ago, I haven't seen one. So, yeah. Whatever. Who cares? Simulation's mine, I've also made a joke to one of my buddies probably 9 months ago or so, maybe 8, 6, 7, 8 months ago. 9, I don't know, whatever. And I said to him, this is after all the deep fake shit that I started finding out about the podcasters and musicians online. Basically, I found out they were like, yeah, fucking go watch the other episodes. I basically said to him as a joke, I was like, if I saw every single one of my family members in front of me right now, I probably would not even believe that it was actually my real family members. It was from that moment on that I started seeing my family members everywhere. Specifically my dad and my stepmom, like everywhere. Driving around, I'd probably see my stepmom like at least 10 times every few hours, just driving around doing deliveries. To the point where it's like, at first I was truly, like, I thought it was my actual family. Actually, you know what? I saw my sister first. That was the first one. I remember I was at a McDonald's drive-through overnight doing Uber Eats delivery. And I remember seeing this woman who looked just like my sister, like an identical fucking twin. And she was like, there were two, you know how there's two fucking order screens. And I saw her, and back then, I was like, holy fucking shit, man. What is she doing here? Is she following me? Because back then I thought my family was like following me and like spying on me. But she was driving a car that I'd never seen anyone in my family really drive. But it looked just fucking like her. And I literally thought it was her. And I remember her like looking in the rearview, her side mirror at me. And she was like, I don't know, the way I remember it, it seemed like she didn't want me to know that she was there, but like, she wasn't hiding herself either. But I swear to God, it looked exactly like her. Like a fucking twin. And that was not too long after I told that joke to my friend. And then I started seeing like my stepmom and my dad everywhere, but it looked a lot like almost exactly like them. Like there wasn't much changed at all, like physically, face-wise, features and yada yada. Like I'd see them driving, they would drive past me, not together, never together, always separate, weird. And then I would be like, what the fuck? That looks like my fucking stepmom. And then I would speed up to get another look at him driving. And it was a completely different face. Like it looked nothing like her. And then I remember driving, it was right over by Coon Rapids, Andover, actually. Why was I over there? Who knows? Whatever. And I remember I was fascinated by this, obviously. And I remember seeing, I don't know if it was one of my family members or why I wanted to get a second look at this person driving. They were alone when they passed me on the freeway. No, there were two people in the car. There was one in the shotgun seat. And they passed me. And then for some reason I wanted to get a second look just because I was like obsessed with like literally seeing my family everywhere. And when I sped up, I remember like there's like a little spot like where the driver's seat is when you're past, like they were on the right side of me and they're driving. And then there's, as I'm evening up to them, like nose on nose of the car, there's like a little spot behind the driver's seat where you can see the shotgun seat, like, and I saw somebody sitting in there. I saw somebody sitting in the shotgun seat. And then as I got further, as I started passing them, the person driving the car's body blocked the viewpoint of the person sitting in the shotgun seat. And then as I actually passed them, the person in the shotgun seat was fucking gone. Just like that, like in a split second, just gone. And I was fucking like mind blown. It's crazy. And it was just one person driving in a car alone, but I saw two people in there. I forgot about that until just now. And then as time progressed, anytime I saw, it was always like, it's pretty much always my stepmom or my dad. I've probably seen my stepmom over 1,500 times since then. or like somebody that looks like a twin of hers. I used to say like 3,000, but that was, probably too much, obviously. I mean, I'm not even joking. It's probably been 1,500 times, give or take. And my dad probably 1,000. And as the days and the weeks progressed, at first their faces would be completely different than when I saw the first time. And then eventually, as I would pass them and get a second look, or try to get a second look, however, maybe they weren't passing me or whatever, like their faces started changing in front of my eyes. Like shape-shifting. Like, you ever seen X-Men? Mystique? Jennifer Lawrence's character, the blue lady, who can literally shape-shift into any fucking person. Like any man, woman, child. That's literally what was happening. Like while I was fucking looking at him. And then eventually, where was I going with that? Eventually it started, like, because at first it would be almost exact spot on image, like the exact twin of them. But as time progressed, it became like older versions of them, or younger versions, or fatter versions, or skinnier versions, or like different hair, different, you know what I mean? Like different skin color, even. It was fucking wild, man. It still happens. I mean, I don't get out of the house that much in the last month or so. So clearly, I haven't had the opportunities to witness this as much. But just a couple weeks ago, I went to the fucking gas station and saw my stepmom pull up in a car, look just like her. And then, I just walked in the gas station and bought whatever I bought and walked home like it was no big deal. Because that's kind of... You become pretty desensitized to this kind of shit. And no, I'm not hallucinating. No, I'm not crazy. Nope. So just save it. And if you're a family member and you're like, oh my God, Hayden, it's if you really think I need psychiatric help or need to get sent away, come pick me up and let's go for a drive. And if we don't see anything that I talk about on here, that would be the simulation. Just kind of fucking with me probably, but it wouldn't do that. Not with everything I know. That would be a big mistake. At this point, yeah. So, but I just, like, I mean, it's just fucked up. Not me seeing that shit or any of that. Like, I mean, whatever, man. I can handle it mentally. But now it's time to, actually fucking, like, have some goddamn shit. Like, where do these cars come from? Like, I told myself, these are just examples that are coming into my head, that are singed into my brain. Back when I started seeing the cars everywhere and shit, I said, you know what, I really want to fucking I made like a whatever, like I said it out loud, or I don't know, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter anymore. Not this deep. I said, I really want like a Volkswagen CC, which they don't make those anymore. I think they stopped in 2018. Kind of a cool looking car. It's like it's more longer than the Passat or the Jetta. It's got like a cool body. And I think it's only a 4-person car. There's no middle seat in the back. Two of my buddies, they were a year older than me in high school. They each had one. It's a cool looking car, but apparently it's got a lot of fucking problems. Like mechanically. That's why they stopped making them. But I said I wanted a red Volkswagen CC. And I believe, yeah, this is definitely after my car accident. And I don't remember. God, I was kind of a pussy back then. But I basically said I wanted a red Volkswagen CC. Not too long after that, my neighbor got a brand new Hyundai Elantra, a red Hyundai Elantra, the newest make and model. Like really shortly after, probably a couple days after I said that. And the new Hyundai Elantras, they look a lot like a Volkswagen CC. Like a lot like a Volkswagen CC. They're more they're more elongated, they're longer, they're not as compact. Especially the ass end of the car, the fucking trunk. And the what is that? What fucking not the there's not a spoiler, but like where a spoiler would go, it just it just looks kind of cool, I think. Because he had a Hyundai Elantra before that, a red one, but it was older. And he got the newest make and model shortly after that, and I was like, damn, that car looks nice as fuck. And then I remember saying after that, I was like, you know what? I want a gray. I want a gray. I think I said no, it wasn't a Jeep. I think it was a fucking Dodge. Like a Ram. It might have been a Jeep. I think I might have said both, actually. I remember saying both. Like a Subaru. That's what I said, a Subaru. Like a hatchback, because Subarus are good in fucking winter weather. And they're good in gas mileage, and they're cheap to fix. And I was planning on driving to Alaska, which I would still love to do. Because I deserve it. And I remember saying I wanted a gray Subaru. I don't know what fucking make and model, like a hatchback. You know what I'm fucking talking about. But a new make and model. And I remember seeing one at the fucking in the parking lot across the street from the bar here in Newport. The next night. And I thought, oh, that might be the fucking one. But if it was my car, it'd be in my fucking garage. not fucking taking a car from a fucking parking lot. In my fucking dream, dude. Fuck that shit. So, after that, I actually saw there were a few Subarus in the parking lot, like 5 of them. And then, not too long after I said that, probably a week at the most, my other neighbor, who parks right next to the guy with the Hyundai, got a fucking dark gray Mazda, brand new dark gray Mazda, a hatchback, whatever, like a sedan. And both of those cars, every single night I would, take my dog out and take her out to take a piss or whatever. And little features on each of those 2 cars would change every day. Like one little feature would change. Like the grill would be like look cooler. It would look badass. And the hood would like the shape of it would change a little bit. The headlights, the rims. And it's not like it's like the car was literally updating itself and upgrading itself every night for weeks. I swear to God. It still does sometimes. Like the tail lights never looked like the way they did. The body of the car looks different than when he first got it. I don't even know if he notices. Or her. She recently got a new Mazda, a red one. Red. My favorite color. Which, hey, good for them, I'm glad I could fucking give somebody a new car that updates itself. Now it's my turn. For real, though. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not even joking. And, yeah, it's just pretty crazy. Like, I don't really get the whole fucking... If you're a family member and you're like, oh my God, Hayden's losing his mind. It's comedy. Huh. So no, I'm not going to get psychiatric help. All right? Because I'm not crazy. So that's the end of that. Don't bring it up to me. If you want to talk about fucking sending me to a psych ward or whatever, not gonna happen, man. It's comedy. And it's a free fucking country. So I can say whatever the fuck I want. And not have to worry about getting, like, sent away. Because I'm not crazy. And the simulation literally it's plays off my subconscious, man. I have so many fucking things I can just list off. I mean, I have to find the list or whatever, because, I kind of have a train of thought going that I want to keep going. Which, not really anymore, but I got too much up in the brain, man. I need to fucking go drive and see the national parks for real. I need to get out of this state. It's just what I need. It's what I deserve. It's what I've fucking earned. I'm tired all the time. I'm tired all the time. And I'm just trying to, like, I'm the kind of person who, like, I think I would make a pretty good detective or whatever, private investigator, which apparently private investigators, they literally, most of their work is just, like, them spying on cheating spouses, which is fucking boring. But I'm the kind of guy who needs to find out why or how, just like the answer to things. So it's like that Suicide Boys song. I no longer fear the razor guarding my heel. For after the second song, the lady's talking about the graveyards. And I used to love visiting the graveyards as a child. Even now, I love visiting the graveyards. And I always needed to know why. Sometimes my whys got me in trouble. Yeah, I feel you there, lady. But no more. No more. If there's any trouble, man, fuck it. Fuck somebody up. Because I'm fucking... When all that kind of shit, it's just like... Yeah, I become desensitized to it. Like, used to it, numb to it. But man, is it fucking tiring. It's all I can fucking think about now. And I'll go into... I mean, there's so much. And, yeah. I just don't want to fucking, keep trying to search for the answer, because look where that got me. I'm actually, like, more confused now, and with less ambition, less creativity, less imagination, less critical thinking, less problem solving, less everything. Like, it's just kind of like, it's kind of drained my fucking soul and my goddamn, I've, like, lost my sense of self. I'm not even, like, trying to, like, I don't need pity or sympathy from anybody. I don't need anybody to feel bad for me. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm just being honest, being me. Like, even just talking about this now is like fucking... It's just, it becomes exhausting. Especially when, like, I'm not even, like, complaining, really, because life ain't that bad, but it really is kind of fucked up. The shit that goes on in my head and the shit I worry about, which are pretty reasonable worries. Because deep down, I never, like, you know, I say I've seen the other side, and myself lying in a hospital bed in a coma. Like, I've heard, like, I'll sit and meditate and just lay here with my eyes closed. I did it out in my neighbor's garage once, and I literally heard somebody walking around me, and it's what sounded like a hospital. I could hear like the intercom, and I could hear I heard a couple beeps from the heart rate monitor, but then the one specific thing I remember hearing was like those metal hospital trays that are next to the bed with all the tools. Like I heard the fucking nurse or the doctor like setting down tools in the tray. But there was nobody walking around in the garage. It was just my buddy next to me sleeping, and then another guy sitting like a few feet away from me playing like dumb videos on Instagram on his phone. Nobody was walking. Nobody was doing anything like that. But I wasn't asleep either. It was like that one was that one was different than all the other times of seeing or experiencing the other side, because like that one I only really heard. Like it felt like because I was sitting with my legs crossed. I had my left leg, my left foot on my knee, sitting like that, and I wasn't laying down, but it felt like I was laying down in a bed, and I couldn't move. And I remember hearing fucking the tink, like when you set something down on a metal tray, like tink, tink, tink. And it was so crazy, because the other times it's never really been tied to the sounds that were going on like that, except for the vision that I had, which I'll get into in a minute. It's just so long. It's like talking about this vision takes like 10 minutes to get the full grasp of it. And I'm exhausted, dude. I'm just fucking tired. Yeah, I should go to sleep, but my body and my brain is tired, but my mind, I feel like I have too much to do. I feel like I'm just like wasting time. Anything I do, I just feel like I'm wasting time. But when I talk about the other side, in my head, I'm agnostic, so and that's just who I am. That's who I've always been for the most part. I mean, yeah, I grew up a Christian or whatever, but even back then, I was like, this is fucking God shit. Nothing. I don't got anything against anybody who is religious, but were you alive 2,000 years ago hanging out with Jesus? No, you weren't. So why are you so adamant on your belief that he even existed? Like, for real. The Council of Nicaea, which started like 30 years after Jesus died or something like that, there's a conspiracy that they wrote the Bible, just a fucking bunch of dudes in a temple, came up with it to make money. And the Bible is literally the most sold book in the history of the world. Damn it, that motherfucker he has my book. Damn. The guy who was sitting across from me with the Instagram videos, I borrowed him a book. And I think he left for Ohio. So, whatever. I've had it for so long, I should have read it already, but time is retarded. It's like, anybody notice that time is moving by really fast? As time passes, it becomes faster. Like to the point where it's already 11:15 a.m. on Friday morning. I went to the fucking store almost like 2.5 hours ago. It felt like an hour ago. But back to my thing that I was talking about the other side and whatever. I'll probably never truly know without a doubt in my mind. There's no way that there's nothing that's going to change that. You know, it's just whatever. I'm fine with it. I don't need to believe one way or the other. But I know that this is a simulation. I know that for a fact. It's actually probably what is like able to fit this entire world inside of my head. But that's the thing. I'll never know for sure, and that's all right with me. Until I wake up or whatever. Because, like, it is pretty unfathomable to think that all of these people and the entire world is inside of a dude's head. But not really, because, like, if you think about a simulation, it's literally like just like it can be like the size of a grain of sand, the entire simulated world. It's just you can't see the entire world in that encapsulates that grain of sand because you're not small enough to see it, like see all of the detail in it, like a snowflake too. They say that every single snowflake is different. Like there's not a single identical snowflake ever. Like the shapes that they make and all that, which is fucking insane. But like the one snowflake, it's like, it's about fucking 20% of a fingernail or something like that. But if you zoom in on it, it has so much detail. It's like a kaleidoscope, kind of. But yeah, this would be like, it could be purgatory, hell, heaven, but I've already come up with all the ways or the real world, with none of those is a possibility, but a lot of things are directly tied to me in the real world. That's like the least likely possibility at this point, truly. Because what? Oh, it's the government. It's the Illuminati. Yeah, the Illuminati's dead, folks. They're all dead. Hate to break it to you. What does the word Illuminati look like? Kind of looks like the word illuminate, right? Like to make something brighter, to light something up, become more visible. Kind of like the vision I had in November or whenever, fucking early November, which I'll get into in a minute here. I don't know. I need to think about something else for a minute. Whatever. Good luck with that, Hayden.